Well, this video is all about contact. It's an impact condition that's very important, and it's a perfect time to get it right. So we have two. We have vertical contact and we have horizontal contact. The beautiful thing is, because you already have low point, that means you already have established a good vertical low point with your irons. That means you're hitting the ball probably right on that third or that fourth scoring line on each one of your irons. However, you still could be hitting the ball on the toe and the heel. And so I'm going to give you some ideas on how to get that ball right in the middle. I'm hoping you practice it. But this video is about more than that, because as the clubs get longer, you need to know exactly how to maintain that contact point all the way to the driver. And that's really what this video is all about. Well, getting the right contact on the face of your golf club from heel to toe is really a lot of trial and error. You got to figure out how far away you need to be standing from the golf ball. While more people are too far away, there are people that are too close as well. The best thing I can tell you is to just really observe your practice swings and where your club is interacting with the ground. That tells you everything. That tells you where your club is most likely to come through. And that's where the ball position needs to be. Now, there's a few hacks out there. One is face tape. So you can go buy some face tape that looks like this. Okay, it sticks on there. It's carbon paper. If you want to do the cheap version, just go to your hardware store and get some cloth black duct tape. Works just the same. It's like $3. This can actually get fairly expensive. But ideally, you need to be able to feel this. You need to feel when the ball hits on the toe of the club and when it hits on the heel. And then you need to actually try to move it the other direction until it feels solid. We've all felt those solid shots. We know where they come from. It comes from when the ball hits right in the middle of the club face. You know, there's an amazing amount of deflection in a golf club. Usually we blame it on our golf swing. Really, it's just contact. If I hit right here on the toe of the golf club, we can see how much the club deflects. It feels like it will be turning in your hands. And we feel like we did something wrong with our swing when we did that. When really, it was just our contact that moved the golf club in our hands. So I hit a shot with some face tape on there, and I'll see how I go. And there's a little mark, and I hit it right there, just a little bit on the toe of the club. But after a few shots, if I still see that, I'm going to be trying to hit the ball a little bit more to the heel. Now, another way to do this is if you're in an indoor simulator, a TrackMan, or just about all the advanced simulators now, the launch monitor actually tells you exactly where you're hitting the golf ball. So stay with the short iron, short to mid iron, and practice until you get the ball right in the middle. And then you want to set that in so that is now your position for your setup. Okay, and then as the clubs escalate out and get longer, you're going to stay in that position. You're going to stay with your feet the same distance apart, same side bend, the same tilt forward. This is your position that you need to lock in for good solid contact. So I want to challenge a common belief in golf instruction today. Most of us have been taught to widen our stance for the driver, add more side tilt as the clubs get longer, and then golfers also stand taller to match the club's length. But here's the problem. Every time you make those changes, you're not just adjusting how the swing feels, you're altering where the club moves in space. You stand taller, your arms are going to swing more around your body. You add side tilt, and you're going to shift your swing direction. You widen the stance, and you limit how much your pelvis shifts and rotates. Each adjustment changes your geometry. And when your body geometry is different for every club, you're making it more difficult to make solid contact. And that's why you start missing off the toe and the heel, high and low in the face with your longer clubs. And that's why I don't change my stance width. I don't change my spine angle. I don't adjust how far my hands are from my body with each club. All I change is the ball position, forward and back, and slightly in and out depending on the club length. That's it. When your setup stays consistent, your delivery stays consistent. And that's how you get clean contact across your bag from wedge to driver. So if you're tired of poor contact with your longer clubs, lock in your setup, adjust only the ball, and watch what happens. Okay, well, here's what I want you to really understand. If we want to become a great, consistent ball striker, you need to be able to set up the same way every time with each one of your golf clubs. Now, what you see here is a representation of all my golf clubs. I've got my longest club, my driver, all the way down to my shortest golf club, a wedge. And notice how they all end at the same place. Now that allows me to set up in the same position with each one of these golf clubs. Now, of course, the ball position is going to be changing. I'll have the ball more forward with the driver. I'll have it more back with the wedges, okay? And that's going to give me my right low point relative to the golf ball. But my body position doesn't need to change at all. I can have the same forward bend, okay? I can have the same distance from my body with my hands. And I can even have the same stance width. And I can even have the same posture or side tilt this way here. I can treat every one of these golf clubs the same way in my setup position. And that's going to help me deliver the golf club into the golf ball in a more consistent way, and that is going to affect where you hit the ball on the club face. Oh, back many years ago, I actually had a pretty strange golf club built so I could demonstrate how we actually have one swing with all of our golf clubs. So I had the shortest golf club, a wedge, sand wedge, and a driver, and I had them actually soldered together so they were actually attached. The idea was I wanted to be able to swing them both at the same time and to show my students that it was just one swing that we were making with both. Of course, they were attached here, okay, right at the butt end. So, of course, the ball position was much different, okay? With the wedge, the ball was much closer to me because of the length of the shaft, and it was much further back in my stance, okay, more in the middle. And of course, the driver was more off of that front foot, okay, and that gives me my proper low point. And of course, the golf clubs were attached right here. And I could literally hit two golf balls with one swing, okay, and clubs were in very much different positions throughout the golf swing. I didn't hit the ball very far with this because the clubs were so heavy, but it allowed my students to understand and realize that because the golf club is ending in this position, we don't have to be up here with the driver. We don't have to have all this side bend with the driver. We don't have to have a big wide stance just because it's a driver. We want to have our stance exactly in the same position. We want to be bent over the same amount. We want to use the same swing because we need to hit the ball solid. And the more consistent your golf swing is from club to club, the more you're going to hit the ball right in the middle of the club face, vertically and horizontally. Well, congratulations. You've just completed the 4 basic impact conditions that you must master in order to play good golf. We started with low point, where you found out that you don't ever have to hit a fat shot and thin shot again. You can master your low point and hit it flush all the way around the golf course. Then we moved to face angle, which controls where the ball goes. We learned about that moment just before and after the golf ball where that club face needs to stay square. Gave you some good tips on that so we can control that. And then we moved on to path. And if you swung way to the inside or away from the outside, you learned how to swing the golf club straight so you can hit dead flush straight shots or curve the ball, shape the ball right to left or left to right. And then lastly, we talked about how to get the ball to be right in the middle of the club face, your contact, and not hit the ball on the toe or the heel, to master that skill. But not only that, but also understand the trick to taking that all the way into the longer golf clubs, maintaining your same swing. Now that you've got that some mastery over those 4 impact conditions, we're going to move on to some advanced things. We're talking about angle of attack, dynamic loft, or what we call spin loft. And these are going to be able to help us control pitch shots and chip shots and bunker shots around the green, and also help us learn how to hit the ball high and low. More advanced. So make sure that you have the 4 basic ones first. You have a degree of competency before you move on. I'll see you on the next video.